If you grew up loving the Grand Theft Auto games and liked British television, then developers Team Soho had you covered when they released the Getaway exclusively on the PlayStation 2 back in December 2002. The Getaway made an ambitious attempt to bring the gritty feel of British crime dramas by blending together cinematic storytelling with a heavy emphasis on realism alongside third-person open-world gameplay that's set against the boldly recreated city of London.
Come on up and see.
Its narrative is divided into two main storylines, tackling a different perspective from each of the two playable characters that are seemingly on opposite sides of the law. The game begins with Mark Hammond, an ex-gangster forced back into the world of crime when his wife is murdered and his son Alex is kidnapped by a notorious gang leader named Charlie Jolson. Under the threat of killing his son, Jolson coerces Mark into performing a series of jobs, including robberies and hits on rival gangs, as part of his elaborate scheme to take control of London.
Come on, let's go and lay the table.
On the other end, Frank Carter, a suspended detective, embarks on a crusade to dismantle Jolson's crime syndicate and bring justice to London streets, often undertaking missions involving intense car chases and manic shootouts. Frank's story intersects with Mark's in several places, providing a contrasting view of the events transpiring and a deep look into the city's criminal underbelly, which makes for a gripping and suspenseful tale. The Getaway strives to merge free-roaming aspects with a tightly scripted storyline, allowing players to explore the streets of London both on foot and through driving sequences. Whilst on foot, the gameplay focuses primarily on shootouts across various settings like warehouses, clubs, and drug dens, with players starting off with basic firearms such as handguns and eventually wielding much more powerful weapons like shotguns, assault rifles, and SMGs. The game features a generally reliable lock-on system, manual aiming for precise shots, and options to take cover from enemy fire while being able to shoot blindly from safety and using enemies or civilians as human shields. In some instances, stealth is required, with Mark or Frank needing to avoid detection by sneaking past or silently eliminating guards, providing a refreshing change of pace from the constant action. Shifting over to the driving segments, driving is a key aspect of the gameplay that is made enticing by an impressive lineup of licensed vehicles. These include European brands like Alfa Romeo, Saab, and Range Rover, as well as Japanese makes such as Toyota, Honda, and in particular the iconic Nissan GT-R Skyline. Each vehicle has distinct handling characteristics with noticeable differences in speed and durability, requiring players to quickly adapt their driving style as they can freely swap between vehicles. Driving missions range from chasing down other vehicles and outrunning rival gangs or the police to simply get Mark or Frank to their destination safely. While there can be frustrating interactions with NPCs and occasionally drawn-out pursuits, cruising through the streets of London otherwise remains a relatively enjoyable and smooth experience. Where this game truly attempted to shine, and what is considered its most defining feature, is its unwavering commitment to realism, which is evident in its unique design choices. The Getaway forgoes typical HUD elements like a health meter being displayed or providing resources such as health packs, as players need to find safe spots amidst the chaos to recover when Mark and Frank are visibly wounded.
What are you fucking doing? I thought you were supposed to be a pro.
While driving, there is no minimap, instead having players rely on and having to pay close attention to in-world navigation cues such as turn signals and road signs for guidance. This approach enhanced immersion but did add a layer of difficulty, especially during driving sequences, as the turn signaling can cause confusion if misinterpreted, leading to players getting lost or missing critical turns. In terms of the visuals, the Getaway pushed the PS2's hardware capabilities by offering a splendid-looking London, which included important landmarks and lesser-known areas that present an authentic backdrop for the game's narrative. It's also supported by fully motion-captured cutscenes and the utilization of the likenesses of the actors who voiced their characters, which significantly elevated the cinematic feel and original vibe the developers aimed for.
Very good, my son. You done very, very well.
The sound design is perhaps the most underrated aspect of the game, with ambient sounds resonating throughout London, from the bustling streets to police sirens, that captures the organised chaos reminiscent of real-life London. The voice acting is quite enjoyable and delivers in almost every way, with convincing accents and emotional weight that enhance the story's impact, and the cherry on top being Andrew Hale's soundtrack that complements the game's pace and tone perfectly, mixing orchestral scores with contemporary beats. The Getaway, however, has a few glaring issues that may detract from the overall experience depending on each player's preference. The game's adherence to realism can sometimes be a detriment, with its cumbersome controls, sluggish animations, and overly realistic manual aiming, making it hard to hit precise shots during critical moments. And while the exclusion of HUD elements and other realistic design choices are integral to the game's concept, it's fair to say that it may not be everybody's favourite cup of tea.
Nothing personal, you understand.
Despite these flaws, The Getaway is often remembered fondly for its ambition and stands as a fascinating case study in the evolution of video games, representing a ballsy attempt to push the boundaries of what was possible on the PS2. If you're keen to experience what realistic gameplay looked like in 2002, The Getaway is a good start as any and offers a solid 8 to 10 hour playthrough that you just might fancy. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a comment below, and as always, see you in the next one.